Hi, Mikiri here, and yes, I am still alive. I have read the news, I've read the interviews, not all of them because I hate reading, but I think I've read enough to have a general, overall opinion about what I read. And honestly, I hate reading, and I was waiting for a gameplay video or some footage to have a discussion about because I don't like hearing stuff or reading stuff from other people's point of view. I like seeing stuff and judge for myself. Like some interviews saying Dark Souls 3 gameplay speed, some people saying faster, some people saying slower. I don't know what's happening. Everyone has different opinions. I want to see it and judge for myself. But I don't know where the fuck is the gameplay footage. It's been a week, come on. It's been a week and it's been 2 years. We need to see the game in action. The trail was amazing, but it was a trailer. I need 10 minutes of non-cut gameplay to judge it for myself. So please, Bandai, please start the marketing for the game. But yeah, mostly I think what I read was great. I have three issues so far. The first one, there was a lot of talk about the game speed and people comparing it to Dark Souls 3. I honestly, I'm an old Souls fan. I'm not really old, like I'm 25, but I, um, okay, I'm back. I was saying that I'm not really old, I'm 25, but I've been playing since Demon Souls came out, since 2009, I think 2010. I don't actually remember when I started, but I think it's around like the end of 2009. Um, so I grew up with Souls, and for me, I've always preferred the slower combat of Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 over Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. The slow and methodical combat that the Soul series was known for. I don't particularly dislike the fast combat of the newer games, but I prefer the slower ones. However, I feel like Dark Souls 3 speed of combat affected the game a little bit, especially PvP. So I was wondering if From would either slow the game down a little bit, like slow down these dodges a little bit, or maybe like balance the game more around it. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that. I'm not sure if they are going to do that or they are just like copying and pasting the system from Dark Souls 3 or the speed of combat overall without much editing. Um, but it's not that big of a deal for me. This is like a minor preference. I would have preferred the slower combat, but it's not really a big issue. The big issue for me, well, let's keep the big issue for last. Let's talk about PvP. I'm not a particularly PvP guy. I PvP sometimes, I sometimes invade. I used to PvP a lot in Dark Souls 2, but that time passed. I play a little bit of PvP in Dark Souls 3, but not really a lot. So I can really judge the current based on the current state of Dark Souls 3 PvP. So there is a lot of heated discussions in the community, within the community, about the PvP aspect of the game. If they are going to make it like solo hosts can be invaded or can be invaded. Honestly, I feel like whatever they choose, there will be an affected side. Someone will be affected by this. Shut up. Shut up. This is my first build, by the way. The first character that I played the game with. For some reason, I started as a deprived and sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm starting as a deprived, and I started as a deprived in Dark Souls 3, and I didn't really like the club, so I purchased the short sword because I didn't have many souls, and it was right there at the beginning from the shrine handmade. So I purchased the short sword and kept using it for the rest of the playthrough. Even though it's not really ideal, but it consumes not a lot of stamina, so I could really swing a lot with it, and it's very light, and I for some reason love how simple it is. Not in terms of like movement, but in terms of its looks. I like this crude, simple feeling of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I was saying that both sides of the discussion will be affected by whatever decision From chooses. I feel like there are a lot of new people coming to the Soul series, and there are a lot of people who do not like to get invaded. There are a lot of people who likes to get invaded, and there are a lot of people like veterans of the Soul series. So I feel like a middle ground is the best option, honestly. Give the people the option to not get invaded. I'm honestly not a game designer. Some people suggested that legacy dungeons players should get invaded there, but then I feel like everyone would just invade in the legacy dungeons. I'm not exactly sure how From could balance it, especially with only 4 players. I don't want to keep giving suggestions because I don't feel like I have enough knowledge about this in terms of like as a PvP player and as a game designer to suggest stuff, but I feel like both sides are valid. Those who don't want to get invaded are valid, and those who want to invade solo hosts are valid too. Although the thing that I would say, as someone who don't really play PvP that often, I will say that I I used like I invade in Dark Souls 3 sometimes, and I'm not really good at PvP. So whenever I invade a gank, sometimes I win, but most of the times I die. 99% of the times that I invade solo hosts, even though I'm not good in PvP, they either I kill them miserably or they run to the boss. So I feel like those kind of people, um, they need another option, if that makes sense. Because if I'm not really good at PvP and I can like make their life miserable, so I think they need some kind of like an item or a way to balance the or even the odds. So yeah, this is all I'm gonna say about it. This is not really an issue for me because I don't really care that much about PvP, but I want to address that. The third thing that I want to talk about, and this is the biggest issue for me, is the it will have the same like Estus system from Dark Souls 3, and I dislike that. I dislike that a lot. I feel like it limits what magicians can do. Like in Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, I feel like you can make a pure magic build without sacrificing a lot. But in Dark Souls 3, you sacrifice a lot of things to the point that it doesn't feel fun. For me, I'm not talking about PvP. I'm not putting PvP into the discussion here. I'm talking from pure PvE experience. I did not enjoy making a magic build in Dark Souls 3, and I enjoyed that in all the previous games, except of course Bloodborne, because Bloodborne nearly had no magic. And that system, in my opinion, is it's not good. It's not good to sacrifice health for mana, especially because when you are talking about melee doesn't have to sacrifice everything. They can just have all the things in the normal Estus flask. So why would a magician have to sacrifice his healing for his mana? Um, I don't like that system, and I don't also like the numbered cast system, the one from Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. I'm not sure exactly how From could solve that. I heard some people suggesting giving spells cooldowns. I honestly think this is a good idea. I'm not a game designer, of course, but I played Dragon's Dogma, and I keep bringing up Dragon's Dogma a lot. It's a really freaking good game. Dragon's Dogma spells had cooldown, and it didn't make PvE, like the game had no PvP. It didn't make the game less harder. The game was freaking hard, and the magic was balanced. So I think it's all matter of from balancing the gameplay instead of limiting what the player can do. I like when From creates new worlds, but I hate when among all these beautiful towers and like skies and monsters and stuff that create, I hate when like outdated gameplay mechanics carry over from older games. I hate when that happens. These are the only three things that I feel like I'm not okay with. So now let's move on to the good things. I'm not gonna talk about everything. I'm gonna talk about few points. The first one of them is the map. The map is actually a good thing in my opinion, especially because the map that from what I understood, it's a crude made map, old like torn apart map that you have to collect its pieces like Hollow Knight. This is amazing. I feel like having a map and like having a map that you have to explore to unlock new pieces of it is very rewarding. And it will help a lot in the open world to navigate. And as long as it's not like Assassin's Creed or Horizon or Ghost of Tsushima or stuff like that, I feel like it will be really great to have a map. Think Shadow of the Colossus, for example. And they also said that if you set way markers on the map, they will appear as pillars of light. Apparently that was in Breath of the Wild. I haven't played that game, but it's also in Shadow of the Colossus. You see the Colossus by this pillar of light far away in the map, and you go there by navigating. So the map is a good addition in my opinion. And of course, people talked about sneaking. There are a lot of conflicted reports about sneaking. People are saying that you cannot backstab from sneak attack from sneaking. I'm not sure exactly what's the point of sneaking if you can't backstab. Maybe certain weapons can backstab, like daggers. Only daggers can backstab. It will be weird if you can backstab with an ultra great sword. So maybe that's the case. Honestly, do not know. But I'm glad that stealth is in the game. I hope it works perfectly. I hope it's not a like an afterthought. Please allow us to backstab from stealth. Make stealth builds viable. And speaking of stealth, there's a new addition called sleep darts or sleep arrows, and this is also something that was in Dragon's Dogma. I keep bringing Dragon's Dogma out. If I had a counter for Dragon's Dogma on this channel, it would probably be like 100. This is perfect because Dragon's Dogma is an amazing game, and playing as an archer in that game, you can do a lot of stuff. There are sleeping arrows, petrification arrows, silencing arrows, arrows that silence magicians from casting. That, oh my god, that was amazing. So having sleeping arrows and being able to do a critical attack stealth builds are going to be so beautiful. I'm also wondering if it works in PvP, if we will like invade a gank or something, and you can put like two of them to sleep and fight the hosts. That'll be amazing. Uh, Great, I don't have arrows. But yeah, I feel like if the game, if the speed of the game is going to be changed, I feel like the arrows should also if the speed of the game remains the same, I mean, I feel like arrows should be bow and arrows should be faster, a little bit faster, not a lot, but this is a little bit slow for a. Is it the black bow of Ferris? I think, right? Yeah. I'm not sure exactly if. One second. I think I have the other short sword here. Because I just want to make sure, because I don't remember the speed of these bows. I think this one's faster. It's still not fast enough. Wow. So yeah, I feel like they definitely need to increase the speed of the bows a little bit, in order to make bow builds viable, or not particularly increase the draw speed. Maybe like what you just saw the this fast attack. Maybe give more weapon odds to bows that makes them more viable, like an arrow rain spell, like fire at an enemy or something, and in that place, like magic arrows, like Aldrich attack falls on the enemy. That would be cool as fuck. So yeah, what else I was saying? Yeah, sleeping arrows will be amazing. I love that. I hope they are overpowered. A lot of people are hoping that it's not overpowered. I hope that they are overpowered. Maybe make it rare a little bit, like not very common, but I want it to be overpowered. I want stuff to be useful. I'm tired of like non-useful things. This thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. I'm tired of non-useful stuff. I want stuff to be useful. But yeah, what else? Of course, there's also info about the hub, about the optional, a lot of optional bosses, and multiple endings, multiple paths. We've talked a lot about this in the previous videos, so I don't think we need. We've got confirmations, but I don't think we need to talk about it again. The thing, though, that I feel like we need to talk about. I'm back. I think, yeah, the thing that we want to talk about. Oh, before that, Twin Blades are back, which is amazing. I'm also hoping that the flail from the leak trail is still in. Please, From, do not remove that. Apparently, there is crafting. Probably how you will craft arrows and upgrade materials. Maybe we'll see how that works. Maybe even craft like buffs like Breath of the Wild's temporarily buff. That would be amazing. The last thing that I feel like I want to talk about here is the new guard counter mechanic. Blocking with weapons is generally not great. So in Elden Ring, if you block with a weapon like Sekiro, you can perform a counter hit. I wonder how exactly will that work in PvP. Will it be viable? Because that would be actually really great. Like blocking with weapons always felt underwhelming, but now that you can block with weapons, I feel like there'll be more diversity in the gameplay. And I wonder exactly, and also like. People mentioned some kind of poise and posture system that when you hit the enemy a lot, it gets staggered and you can perform a critical hit. I'm not sure exactly how will that work either, but I feel like this with the counter hit mechanic will allow for much more engaging combat. and instead of only like having to drain the enemy health, you can work for something else. And with stealth arrows, sleeping arrows, um, destroying the posture of the enemy, counter hitting, stuff like that, I feel like each encounter will be much more unique because you have more options. So yeah, these are, I feel like, let me check my notes. I feel like these are the only stuff that I feel like I need to talk about, because everything else, like the hub world, the NPCs, I don't feel like I need to talk about these stuff, because you guys already read the news and you read the interviews, and there's nothing interesting to say about these things for now. Non-linear progression is still the thing that I'm excited the most about in Elden Ring, and it will remain the thing that I'm excited for the most in Elden Ring until it releases, because I love Dark Souls 1 world design. So yeah, I feel like my first build in the game might be stealth. I really want to see how stealth will play out in Elden Ring. Uh, I might just recreate this, because among all the first playthroughs, I feel like my first build in Dark Souls 3, even though it's really simple, it's not really anything interesting. I feel like this build is my favorite in terms of fashion and in terms of I didn't really have a lot of hard time playing Dark Souls 3 with it. So yeah, I'm back. Hopefully I will not be gone for long. There was nothing to talk about, and I was waiting for gameplay. So we'll see. Maybe they release gameplay tomorrow, and I'll have to make another video. So yeah, this is my opinion. I'll see you next time. Peace. Not this one. I didn't want to make this one. Peace.